we just kind of wanted to give a recap of last weekend, what's been going on in pop culture and the world. Since last week, we kind of went over a few things going on in pop culture and going on in hip hop culture, I guess. And since then, there's been some new things that have came forward that have kind of sparked up old conversations, because these conversations aren't necessarily new, but it's more evidence, I guess, pertaining to people that I think a lot of people really looked up to growing up in the 80s and 90s. I feel like a lot of people looked at these people as big stars, and they are big stars. And by no means am I trying to take anything from them. Who the fuck am I to say that somebody of this A caliber list is less of anything because of, I guess, paperwork that we have found. It's crazy because, so basically what we're talking about is last week we had Foreign and Breeze come over, and we were just talking about Tekashi 6ix9ine and how he's gonna, basically, how he's moving and why he thought it was okay to come home and just be this big arrogant motherfucker instead of like being humble and kind of like just staying out the way, you know what I mean? This motherfucker wanted to come back with a big ass bang. And a lot of, all three of us I know don't necessarily agree with his politics whatsoever. None of us agree with what he did or how he ended up getting out of his situation. I think we grew up in, what's kind of weird is me and Aaron are technically, or me and Aaron are foreigners technically, we're millennials, where we are technically in the same generation as these motherfuckers eating Tide Pods and shit. What do you think of it? And it's like, I low-key when somebody calls me a millennial, I low-key kind of get offended. Like, I ain't no goddamn millennial. But I guess if you go look up the scale or whatever, I guess I am. At first I thought I was Project X. Project X, we was part of the Mac Dre, the House Party, Biz Pill, let's get fucked up and have a good time era. As where these niggas is like, oh, y'all did ecstasy and all that, so we gotta, what crazier can we do to top y'all? And these niggas is snorting condoms and... Wait.
Like, oh yeah, that's crazy. Okay. Yeah, that's crazy. I seen that shit. Yeah, that shit was real. Oh, okay, I thought it was a joke.
Nah, bro, that shit's real.
Thought it was an illusion.
Nah, bro, that shit's hella real. So basically, what they do is, I think they put it up their nose and they kind of sniff and then they pull it out their mouth.
Well, it's gross.
I don't know if it's a challenge. I don't know what it is. I'm just saying it's something that their generation is doing. And technically, I'm part of their generation, but I would not be partaking in that bullshit. There's definitely a difference in, what would it be? Antics or behaviors? We were still part of the generation. We still played outside. You know what I mean? Like, we still sat on the motherfucking big ass green radiation tanks that everybody like. And then when they got hot, we was excited because it felt good, because we usually was wet from playing water fight or something like that. Like, we from the era of like climbing trees and busting your shit and still stay out until like, not the street lights, because that was a little late, but like, I don't know. We was still played outside, especially.
You guys basically, y'all still got the scabs on your arms.
We got stories. We got scratches. We were kids. As where these kids nowadays are. It just seems a little different. I kind of wanted to do something different because the idea of the melting pot is kind of like expose people to different mindsets and different walks of life and different cultures, things that you normally aren't used to. So I wanted to go around the room and say what, like, one thing that a pet peeve is. One of your pet peeves. And I think one of my biggest pet peeves is when I call somebody sir and they say, oh, I work for a living and that's my father. It's like, bitch, nigga, do you think I think you better than me? Because if you do, there's another, it's not, nigga, I don't think you better than me. I fucking hate that shit. If I ever come up to you and I refer to you as sir, it's a me being kind and polite and probably not trying to say what up, nigga. So don't think I think you're a superior over me. Please don't. That is a pet peeve of mine that I fucking hate. What about you, Foreign? Sorry. I was looking that way. I was sorry.
We can talk.
Go ahead.
Body. What you bit that big? Let's see what's going on in your life, there.
What's a pet peeve for you, Foreign? I think you got a lot of pet peeves, Loki.
I'm just a heavy person.
What is a pet peeve you got? Name one pet peeve. If you can come up with a pet peeve, like if somebody walked in this room right now in the middle of us recording and did something, and they would piss you the fuck off to the point where you'd be like, "Nigga, get the fuck out." What would that be?
Let me hit this.
A nigga walk in the room, they put up on shit and want to hit the shit.
You want to hit this right here. You gotta go. You gotta go.
Yeah.
You're out of here in 3 strikes. You're out of here.
No, that's 1 strike, nigga. You don't get
came
3.
in with 3 strikes. I don't even play baseball, but the nigga was hitting them balls. I know them foul balls becoming strikes, right?
Yeah.
The nigga already had some foul balls.
He's already out of here.
I think for the foul balls, it's like your first 2 is foul, but if you get the 3rd foul, you can keep hitting the foul and the foul and the foul until you actually strike out. But yeah, bro, that's crazy. What about you, Breeze?
So I'm gonna keep it on the tip, like my lighter. You know, so I hate when people take my lighter. You know what I'm saying?
Brody, I didn't see you spaz out over a pencil at work.
I hate when people take my shit. Period. How about that? Hey, remember I thought my charger or anything, I'm like, hey man, what my right. Hey, when people take
that nigga don't.
I'm particular over a pen. A fucking pen. I'm like, where's my fucking pen, man? They'll give me I don't want this pen. I want the pen that I had. I like the way it was writing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That little type of shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't want your lighter. I want the lighter that I had. It was special to me. You know what I'm saying? They did it a different way. Your lighter was too big. I don't like that shit. Your flame was too big. I don't like that.
That's funny. I had a football coach. His name was Andre. His name was Coach Dre. And that nigga would never, he would always come on the field, eat some snacks or something. And he would never share because he said, what if the piece I gave you was better than the one I just ate?
Oh, that's fine.
That's facts though. That's low-key facts.
But for real, it's like, that was a cheesy one right there, man.
You would say that, right? You would say that.
I'm like, what the fuck? Like, that's crazy as hell. But low-key when he said it, it was like, you can't really argue with that though.
Right.
You can't. That was cool. What is one thing at work that, or something you at work? If you had a job and you was working, what is one thing that your supervisor does that piss you off? You go first, Breeze.
Ooh. I hate when they call my fucking name over the little thing. Oh my God, call my government name over this. And they use my first name, my last name. You know, I'm like, what the
one
fuck?
or two things.
Oh my, right. I feel like I'm even going to the principal or something. And I'm like, I hate that shit, man.
On everything. What about you?
That was funny. At work, my gotta be an over aggressive employee. Just one of them.
Micromanagement. Niggas that be on your shoulder like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
When are you gonna do this?
You know,
how are you doing that?
Yeah.
Micromanagement.
Oh my God. But you don't got nothing to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Low key, that's one of my biggest pet peeves is like people that try to micromanage you and people that expect you to do things that they wouldn't do themselves.
Right.
That shit pisses me off. Like, don't go ask me to do some off the wall ass shit that you can't accomplish your goddamn self. Like, I understand your job's to delegate, nigga, but you ain't doing this shit. And for me, it's like there's certain people I don't like at work, but them motherfuckers handle business, and you can't really. I like. Hey, we gonna do a real little free ad for these niggas, bro. They don't fuck with. Oh damn! I just said it. I owe $1. I forgot the joke.
Where's the pot? Put the pot down.
Alright, we gonna do IOU.
Cashing out.
Alright, so we gonna backtrack. So we
No IOU.
Need that. Cash out. We have video poker. Hit the cash out button. Hit the cash out.
God, man.
I didn't stop and get changed. So us watching the videos, we all three have realized we say nigga a lot, bro. Like we own the motherfucking word. So I came up with the idea that every time we say nigga, we gonna put in $1. And I said I'm just gonna bring a little stack of 50 just so I can just make sure. Cause I be getting emotional sometimes, and I just need to drop a couple. Cause sometimes it calls for that. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna not say it, but I'm just gonna make sure I can pay for it.
Right. I'm prepared. You know what I'm saying? This is in the budget. You know what I'm saying? This is in the budget right here.
Yeah, that tip wasn't nothing.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
That, man.
Hell yeah. So last week. Y'all like my little upgrades to the chairs? We out of them foldables. Y'all like them?
Nice.
Okay. Hopefully I'll be buying that house soon. We can actually have a little like studios type setup type thing out of this, but I think this is nice for right now. So it was kind of nice. We had a little episode planned out today. It didn't end up going as planned, but you got to keep rolling. The show must go on, baby.
One month you don't stop the show.
So today we was like, what can we talk about? Like, what can we do? And I was just like, all over the news right now. You hear in the blogs and on Twitter, who's trending right now is Tekashi 6ix9ine and Snoop Dogg. And for me, it's like when Tekashi came home and he doing all his crazy shit, you hear him talking and stuff, and you throw out a name like Snoop Dogg, it's like you just clout chasing, you know what I'm saying? Like you a little nappy headed, rainbow head, rodent nigga. You don't sit your ass down. You got the OG fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
Or do you? Side note. Side note.
Bro!
You gotta lead up to it.
Damn, man. And it's like, what's crazy is like, I realized like I'm in the media world now. Regardless if I got a lot of followers or not, I'm in the media world. I was talking to my boy Foreign, and he's kind of just explaining how this shit go. I'm new to this shit, and it's a different world, bro. It make certain shit happen to make you all sensitive and shit, and it's like you kind of gotta be like cold-hearted a little bit, like fuck it, you know what I mean? And I don't know. It's like for me, it's like I'm always supporting people, so I just assumed it would happen in reverse. You know what I mean? Like I never felt like I would have to like not beg, but it was like almost persuade or make like I didn't think because I didn't have a certain amount of followings or I ain't the popping motherfucker, I wasn't just gonna have people show up, you know what I mean? I literally thought if I provided everything and I gave niggas like unlimited weed and lick, like they just come and kick it, you know what I mean? Niggas kick it and talk about bullshit anyway. Why the fuck wouldn't they just come do it with somebody they already cool with that already support their shit? Everybody don't think the same, everybody already got brands and shit going, and I could understand them not wanting to fuck with their brand, but I didn't think I was doing anything wrong that would fuck up somebody's brand, so I don't know. That's a whole nother subject. Back to Tekashi 6ix9ine and Snoop Dogg though. When this nigga Tekashi 6ix9ine brought up Snoop Dogg, like my first instance, like nigga, I don't know Snoop Dogg. I ain't never met Snoop Dogg. I ain't never seen that nigga. If he ever see me, he'd be like, nigga, fuck. He probably got security on my black ass. You know what I mean? But.
Go ahead.
I gotta hit him with the praise.
My pocket's going up, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead, man.
Matter of fact, so I was doing my little media thing, you know what I mean? Just like seeing like what's real, like what's really out there on the internet. And I just went and I was Googling stuff. And lo and behold, bro, I found the paperwork on Calvin Broadus, bro.
A.K.A. Snoop Doggy Dogg, A.K.A. Snoop Dogg, A.K.A. Snoop Lion, A.K.A. Martha Stewart's partner, A.K.A. What's the other show? Joker's Wild, A.K.A. all this shit, you know? Snoop, nigga.
Damn.
Uncle Snoop, nigga,
bro.
You know what I'm saying?
What was him and Wiz Khalifa, what was it?
Mac and Dre, right?
Something like that.
Devin, Mac and Devin,
bro.
Yeah, something like that.
Mac is a rat, bro.
Mac the rat.
Mac the rat.
Mac the rat. Mac the rat.
it was so crazy is when I first heard it, I was like, nah, man, they lying, bro. Like, they got, like...
Allegedly.
Alright. Until we got... Matter of fact, baby, how much long we got on those cameras?
2 minutes.
Okay. So, I was on the internet, and... matter of fact, baby, hand me those papers over there.
Hey, nigga, the paperwork do not lie, nigga. A nigga cannot shake that. Nigga cannot shake that paperwork, nigga. Nigga can't shake that paperwork, nigga.
I don't know if y'all can see this, but
I can see it. Hey, I can see it.
But right here in the camera, it says Sheriff Department,
Yeah.
and then it says subject Calvin Broadus interview.
Yeah, man. Hey, and the crazy thing is the year. Tell them the year.
The year is, alright, the date is, rather, May 1st, 1998.
Alright.
Which was when this nigga was with No Limit Records with the Game Is To Be Sold Not Told album, which we all love.
Bro, this is right when that infamous story where Master P supposedly came and paid Suge Knight all this money to get him off his contract and everything was good and Master P was really had all the money and they wasn't worried about shit because Master P really had all the rich men and blah 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 blah.
Shout out to P.
This nigga motherfucking Calvin Broadus got confronted at where was it at, brody?
Amphitheater.
I'm
not even looking at it.
Amphitheaters. He got old boy ran up on him at Amphitheater. And actually, I'm gonna have my right.
Old boy from where? Old boy from where?
Old boy from Death Row.
Death Row. Shout out to Death Row Records, man.
Bro, we about to get this to the wifey so that she can read it. And this is the paperwork on Calvin Broadus. And go ahead, love. Take us away. I wish y'all could see this nigga form face, bro.
Alright. Hey.
Black and white don't lie, bro. The black and white paperwork don't lie.
My black's out so the ink's blue, but it's the same thing.
Oh, it's the same thing, nigga. If you go online, it's gonna be the same thing, nigga. It's the same thing.
And matter of fact, what I am gonna do after this podcast, I am going to post the paperwork on my Instagram page.
So is ratting famous? If you rat, do you get famous?
It look like it's trending.
I don't know.
It's trending. It's just trending right
I
now.
don't know. It might be because I feel like a lot of niggas that make it to the top take niggas down once they make it up there. How many niggas? I don't think people really make it to the top just climbing and succeeding
without knocking somebody else down.
I mean, you gotta knock somebody down, but ratting. I mean, I know what culture like most of us come from, but like ratting.
Actual telling.
Bro, tell it. Let me tell you this. I know for a fact most parents have sold their kids at least once. Stop tattletelling.
Yeah.
We've been told since we was younger, stop tattletelling. Like, so it's not, I don't even think it has nothing to do with snitching. It's just like, mind your goddamn business. Like, why go out of your way to, and what's crazy is like, you know what? I'm gonna have my wifey read the paperwork first, and I'm gonna give you my opinion after, because I feel like my opinion, it might offend some people, but I'm okay with that because after hearing,
not me too.
I am perfectly fine with it.
Like me too.
But for me, it's like when you compare the two situations, Tekashi 6ix9ine and Snoop Dogg, I would almost justify it more in Tekashi's than I would Snoop Dogg's, bro. I'm not justifying. I am not saying snitching is good. Period. It's never good at all.
So are we choosing sides?
No. No.
We choosing sides.
No. I am not choosing sides. But what I am saying is, if I knew what I knew now about Snoop Dogg, I don't know if I'd have banged that nigga shit the same way.
Oh, okay, I get what you're saying. Like from over the years,
Oh,
because that's 98. So
90,
nigga,
98. I was born in 92, so I was 6 when that happened.
Right.
So like by the time I was able to really listen to me,
blue carpet treatment,
bro.
Right.
So for me, it was like especially knowing what I know now, just about just the world and different shit, and how like Tekashi got fucked over in a situation. Snoop Dogg was just kind of scared.
but hey, he had made. That's what I'm saying. If I had to choose, I didn't want to break it there.
Let wifey read it real quick.
Death Row is that a game?
Death Row was not a game.
Supposedly the game.
Shout out to Suge, man. Shout out to Suge. For real.
Baby, go ahead if you can. Go ahead and if you can start at the very top as sheriff department and okay, thank you.
Okay, so it says from the Sheriff's Department, County of Los Angeles, from May 14th, 1998. This is from Lieutenant Brad Walker. Subject Calvin Broadus interview.
Snoop Dogg.
Right, Calvin Broadus, aka Snoop Dogg. Suspect Delmar Arnaud.
Who is Daz Dillinger.
Daz.
Okay.
Nigga Daz.
Deals for the dub pound. So it's like
PG did all the beats.
everybody corrupt was a gangster nigga, I thought. So it's like
But Corrupt ain't in that paperwork
He
though.
ain't in that paperwork.
he not in that paperwork.
Who?
But didn't Corrupt go and do his long ass bid?
Nah,
But he ain't-
Corrupt stayed with Death Row for a
Hold
second
on,
though. He ain't in that
He ain't
paperwork.
in that
though.
paperwork,
He
though.
ain't in that paperwork.
You know what's funny?
They said another person, but they didn't say his name. They didn't say his name. They did not say his name. They said another nigga name, but they didn't say
They didn't say
Corrupt
that
name.
nigga's name.
Shout out to the Corrupt young guy, man. Shout out to that nigga.
Hey.
You know what's so funny is these niggas both reacted the same way when I brought to the paperwork about Snoop Dogg. You know, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Finding that Snoop paperwork on Snoop Dogg, it wasn't hard, but I felt like a real reporter doing that shit, nigga. It's like the real documents. Oh shit!
So you really was a journalist and shit?
No, wifey just pointed out I owe another $1.
You owe about $10.
You know what's funny? It's like I only got $10 in the room.
But
Damn. Alright, sorry. Alright, baby, go ahead.
Alright.
Alright, wait, what? What you guys to say?
No, I wanted to hear it.
Alright, let's do it. Alright.
Alright, so it says gangster rap artist Calvin Broadus, Snoop Dogg, and Delmar Arnaud, Daz Dillinger were arrested by deputies Ron Sabatine and Jim Farrell for possession of less than 1 ounce of marijuana during an incident at the Universal Amphitheater. Deputies Sabatine and Farrell were working under a private entity contract providing uniformed deputies outside the backstage area of the amphitheater. They were assigned to monitor and assist with the Universal security officers manning the metal detectors used to screen anyone entering through the artist's entrance. The incident began when 4 to 5 male African Americans approached Mr. Broadus. He recognized them as employees of Death Row Records, a company he just broke away from. One of them struck him in the face with his fist.
Damn. I got that part too.
That nigga.
I forgot that part.
Time out, sorry to lie, but that nigga Snoop is skinny as
Hey,
shit.
but on the one song he said, I fire from the shoulders, I don't need no gun.
Nigga, you lying.
Right. This the 90s. Nigga, that's what he said too. This the 90s. By the end of the rail, the pound down the dump, young punk. That's what he said, man.
That's what he. What did he do though?
I'm just saying, man.
All right, baby, go ahead.
Oh, hey, look, on that new album when he left, that's the first song on that No Limit album, as a matter of fact. That's a lyric from that first song, as a matter of fact. I quote.
Was they bluffing, nigga?
What's they bluffing? Let's go.
Okay. Mr. Broadus, Mr. Arnaud, and a third man, Priest Brooks, immediately ran out of the backstage area.
Time out. We gotta look up.
We gotta get free right now. I'm going right now.
Look at that nigga.
I'm going right now.
Who is Priest, nigga?
Man. On everything.
I just want to.
That's funny.
Dude.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh shit, that's Superfly.
I
Superfly.
Superfly. Yeah, okay.
Superfly.
But let me see a picture, dude.
You know, nigga that be producing that shit too. Him and Dash was doing all that little production and shit in the back, you know what I'm saying? Superfly, he rapped too and shit.
Go ahead, love. Sorry.
He from the DPG.
Alright, Mr. Broadus, Mr. Arnaud, and a third man, Priest Brooks, immediately ran out of the backstage area, outside to where they knew the deputies were posted. As the three men approached the two deputies, Mr. Arnaud yelled out, "He's got a gun." Deputies Sabatine and Farrell immediately patted all three men for weapons and discovered that both Broadus and Arnaud had a baggie of marijuana in their pockets. Deputy Sabatine requested assistance when he noted that approximately 60 males had exited the backstage area and were approaching them in varying degrees of hostility. Approximately 20 deputies assigned to Booth, the Universal Substation, and the Unisat Reserve Company responded along with 12 Universal Studio armed security officers, off-duty police officers, and 30 uniformed American Protective Services officers responded and quickly restored order. Response units from the West Hollywood station arrived and stood while the concert crowd exited. There were no further incidents directly related to the concert and no one was injured. Mr. Broadus was extremely cooperative during the incident, and in fact that
It's just it hurts. I'm sorry. I just quoted the nigga.
Go ahead, baby.
And in fact that he was thankful that the deputies had been there, as he felt that the assault was intended as an act of intimidation. He told them that he felt that he was in grave danger as a result of leaving Death Row Records and signing with his new label No Limits. Mr. Broadus also said that he felt Mr. Arnaud was in danger as he is still under contract to Death Row Records. During the discussion, I said that I knew who killed Tupac Shakur. Mr. Broadus responded by saying that it was the man sitting next to me, that it was the man sitting next to Tupac. I asked him if he meant such nights. He replied affirmatively.
God,
Mr. Broadus said that he was upset that his bodyguards disappeared and did not assist him.
Y'all, it is, I don't even know what to say, bro. It is for sure. Like I said, man, I'm going to be pasting this on my Instagram page, and I'll also post the link to, I think I'll post the link to other videos where I've actually found this information. Excuse me, sorry about that. I will also post the link to other reporters that I found this information on. It's crazy, bro.
Just beyond me, bro. Can you read that one part one more time? Can you read?
So there's a part. So there's a part where it says, Foreign seems to believe that there's a mistake and there's a typo. It's not. It's gotta be a mistake, right? Bro. It's not, bro. Right. Read the part where he's saying, where it said something about where.
He said he know who killed Tupac.
He said he know who killed Tupac.
What did he have to say that for?
Where did it come from?
Right.
In '98.
He's offering.
September 13th,
96. 2 years later.
What would you say that for?
That's what I'm. Baby, can you read that part one more time?
Okay, so this is from a Lieutenant Brett Walker. So it says.
Oh, I didn't even know that was in there.
Oh, bro,
he did the same thing. And then once you get a little bit in there, you take the round part and you stuff it. So like kind of just go like this.
No wonder it took me so long.
Bro, nah, just go like that.
But like you said, once you get it though, it's so smooth.
Yeah, bro. And then you kind of just like stuff it.
Yeah, I need to go back to backwoods.
Sorry. Only reason I smoke this shit is because I try not to smoke tobacco. I do like cigars. I do smoke cigars sometimes, but you don't inhale cigars the way you do blunts and cigarettes. So supposedly it's not as bad for you, but it is bad. It's worse for you because of the amount of nicotine and all that other stuff. But whatever. The part with Yes.
Okay, so this is from a Lieutenant Brad Walker. So when it says I, it means he's the one who's talking. So it says, Mr. Broadus also said that he felt Mr. Arnott was in danger as he is still under contract to Death Row Records. During the discussion, I said that I knew who killed Tupac Shakur. Mr. Broadus responded by saying that it was the man sitting next to Tupac. I asked if he meant Suge Knight. He replied affirmatively.
Suge Knight.
Suge Knight, yeah.
Brody, it's not a typo. We all wanted it to say the same thing. We all were disappointed. Like I said, I'm going to be posting this shit.
I mean, I ain't... Suge Knight caught a body by himself. Just running over a person with a truck.
The recent one?
Yeah,
that's just the one that got him down. You know what I'm saying? That's just the one that...
I low-key they did think they did him like they did kind of OJ. You know what I mean? Like, because OJ ended up getting like 5 or something years for his... 9 for that, for his...
He ended up doing like 9 or something.
Bro, he did a lot of time
for...
like
9 years.
Bro, and honestly, I think they just did that because of his previous shit. And so I think with Suge, they couldn't really, like, pin him for all his other shit. So they was like, nigga, I'm gonna sit you down. Like, cause I don't, like, I seen the...
He's done now. Yeah, he's done.
I don't know. I seen the video of the car where he, like, the guy was ran over or whatever. It doesn't... I don't know if his intention was, like, to run somebody over.
I didn't see it.
It looked like that nigga was trying to back up and get the fuck up out of there is what it looked like. And then old boy ended up getting ran over in the process is what it looked like.
So he didn't just run over and then come over and come over.
To me, I don't know. But it was like from surveillance footage, I think Suge was like in a red pickup truck. And from what it looked like is, I think they said something like somebody pulled a strap and Suge tried to get up out of there and ended up running somebody over in the process. And they sacked that nigga down for that shit. I could be completely wrong, nigga. I don't know shit.
No, I think it was something like that I heard too.
So,
I didn't follow the story.
Yeah, bro. I
didn't follow the story. I just heard that he ran somebody
But for me, that if any...
Pac and then you telling...
Bro. So for back to Snoop, it's like, in this situation where Tekashi... I know last time we was like, fuck that. Fuck you. Everybody baby mom getting fucked. We said all that. Like, When you think about the situations, by no means am I excusing Tekashi. We still think Tekashi's a bitch over here. Nobody's over here saying excuse his things and he's not wrong. And that is not what the topic is. The topic is, for one, we are all fucking shocked that Rolling 20's Crip, fucking Snoop Dogg, Snoop Lion, Uncle Snoop is... Like, I don't know, bro. It's weird. It's almost like it's not real. Like, I don't know. For me, but it's when I was thinking about it, and it's like when you evaluate the situations, Snoop was just scared. Tekashi was about to get murdered.
He was scared too.
No, I'm not. No, what I'm saying is they were
the degree of his scared and his scared. But,
I'm not saying that Tekashi wasn't scared. What I'm saying is like if you evaluate the situations, it was almost like Snoop didn't handle his gangster, and the feds knew that Tekashi was about to get murked. So they was like, "Hey, little nigga, you about to die. We gonna offer you this deal." To tell the people that was about to kill you.
What about Snoop though? He should have been Death Row. What? Death Row.
They was in the amphitheater. They was gonna beat that nigga's ass. You think they was gonna kill him inside the amphitheater?
But allegedly they already got Pac allegedly. So I mean, you know what I'm saying. And Pac ain't the only one that went down in the whole little situation that we all know about. So.
Supposedly there was a lot of niggas that died.
Right.
A lot of niggas died.
A lot of niggas dying. So
I don't know nothing about that, but supposedly a lot of people died in California during that time, bro.
For sure.
But I'm just like, how should set up a shot in his head?
He did get shot in his head.
Should got shot in his head. I wouldn't get shot in my. Hey, shoot me. No, bro. Come on.
So I'm like,
from a car too. Make sure you just hit me in it. Come on, bro.
Man, nobody. Yeah.
Like, how did he? Like, for one, it's like
that's crazy.
If anything, time out. If I paid somebody to kill somebody and that nigga shot me in the head, nigga, that nigga would have to die.
That nigga, like, nigga, what
you
doing?
Or nigga, I'm only giving you a percentage of what I offered you.
Yeah, you can't get those.
Nigga, I'm not giving you the whole thing. You shot me in my head. Nigga, I'm not paying you. You didn't fit. Nah, nigga, fuck out of here.
So he was like, man, he was just supposed to be in the car. He was supposed to be a clean shots. Because it was at a light, right?
So, but supposedly when you hear people speak about it, like, because there's a dude named Glasses Malone and Keefy D, and there's a bunch of people. So, Glasses Malone made a song called "Tupac Must Die," and basically it's the perspective of the dude that ended up getting beat up by Suge and Tupac in the casino. And so basically the way that they explained it was, especially in LA, like when they gangbanging and shit, like, you're not about to sit here and have everybody in the hood make fun of you because you got beat up, nigga. Especially by no singing, dancing motherfucker like Tupac.
So Snoop, but how
So
Snoop know this?
like
Hey, wasn't Snoop stay home, right? He didn't go to
that show or whatever. But what I'm saying is, supposedly the way they explain it, the people from LA, or not the people, but the way I heard Glasses Malone explain it is like he wasn't about to take that L. He wasn't. The dude's name was like Alonzo something, but basically Orlando. They know who killed him, but Orlando's dead. So basically they said is Orlando ended up getting jumped by Tupac and them dudes in the casino. There's footage of Tupac getting jumped in the casino. Afterwards, a boy ended up catching him outside and they smacked his shit up. And basically it was that simple.
But
people.
I'm saying shit was in the car.
I don't know, bro. But basically, that's the story, and that's what everybody says.
It's Crips too, so I don't think Suge would have had too many
Crips, you know what I mean? He ain't paying no Crips to
shoot at him. Also,
that's what I'm saying. Snoop,
bro, he crazy, bro.
And they beefing.
Nah, bro.
I'm saying Snoop said he killed Tupac on top of running away from the suckers at the amphitheater. That's what I'm saying. He said both of that.
So right, but so I was just giving y'all a little backstory on like, to me, people are saying that. So there's people that, so there's supposedly somebody, Keefy D was in whose car? He was in, not in Suge and Tupac's car, but he was in the car with Orlando and them when they smacked up his shit.
The alleged white.
The Beamer.
No, Pachner was in the Beamer.
Right.
Orlando then was in the white lack.
Yes.
The white lack.
So they smacked his shit up, right? And supposedly, yeah, so they smacked his shit up. So for me, it's like how 2 years later is Snoop Dogg offering this information that Suge killed him. Like, I don't know. For me, it seems like, to me, it seems more like Snoop is more running and snitching than oh boy. To me, in my opinion.
But I'm saying it's Death Row.
Death Row.
I don't know.
Hey, Death Row went and got Pac out of prison. Niggas had power, nigga. Niggas had power at one time, nigga. They had power, bro.
Like Takashi and it was like we the new Death Row.
That's what they.
It's a difference
I
in the
feel
original.
in no lie, bro. I'm actually kind of disappointed that he told, bro. I was hoping he didn't.
I mean,
I didn't know nothing about him until he told. But when he told, I was like, they was really doing some shit. Though.
This can't be.
They was doing some shit.
Right.
Yeah, bro.
Them cats was doing some shit. Like,
right.
I didn't know nothing about what is Trey Wayne.
Yeah, bro.
I didn't know nothing about him until he started telling. I was like, what?
Yeah, bro. For me, I was really hoping that he didn't, bro. I was really hoping that nigga really went and like.
It was like a rock the beef, like, nah, man, I ain't, nah.
And he was gonna come out and he was gonna be like the new, like a little Bobby Shmurda.
Shmurda.
Who?
Takashi. I was hoping for that.
Think that?
I was hoping that he wasn't gonna tell.
No, he said he was hoping. He was hoping. He was giving the man faith.
But he was gonna do 45.
Was he?
He wasn't facing nothing less than like 40 years old.
Bro,
Chip was supposed to do a lot of time, and he got it.
Bro, get out of here. Shmurda and them, they got racketeering too. Bodies and shit.
But hella niggas went
Right.
right. He doing 15 or something, right? Or like
he did. He was,
he's
a gay nigga. So they offered him a deal. I'll give you 7, but Rowdy gonna get 12. He was like, only way Rowdy gets 7 is if you take 7. He took 2 extra years so his boy can get the same time as him. They both get out the same time. That's a real gangster, nigga.
That's what's up.
I was hoping for the same thing for him.
Who is he gonna take time with?
No. I'm not saying he was gonna take time with nobody, but I thought he was just gonna hopefully cut his ties, cut his losses.
Listen, no. You can't root for that automatically. Listen.
Let's before we go too far. Let's go back to that. You can't even get root for him neither for taking the 7 because you told on yourself too though. You know, let's start with that. That's where it starts. Let's go with the start. Just like I teach my kids. I'll be like, I did this. I'll be like, okay, I understand that you did this. Why did you do it? Let's go to the beginning. Let's go to the core. Right? Okay, you'll stand up there taking the 7, but why did you have to take the 7? I'm just saying. Why did you have to take the 7?
No.
Let's go there. Let's
but that goes back to that other wormhole story of our community putting ourselves in bad situations and not trying to change the narrative and kind of living into the narrative that was created for us. But that's a whole nother story for a whole nother topic. So we can talk about us fucking. I remember last conversation I had brought up what's gonna be our new soul food, what's gonna be our new hip hop. But I was low key thinking, both of them motherfuckers low key be killing us.
I don't want to know.
Soul food, nigga. That shit takes out a lot of us. Hip hop, I don't necessarily it takes out a lot of us, but I feel like a lot of our community grow up trying to be like that instead of trying to find out who they really are and end up in this situation like Tekashi 6ix9ine. So it's a double-edged sword, and I feel like a lot of people are getting the other end of it. You know what I mean? There's your Noriegers, there's your Jay-Z's, there's your DMX, Ja Rule, Irv Gotti, 50 Cent, them niggas that came from nothing that took the industry, got out of that life, and then, you know what I mean, took the other route. But there's a lot of niggas that's like Bobby Shmurda. There's a lot of like little niggas that end up getting like time.
Like the Kodak Blacks
if nobody grabbed you, you gotta think that Bobby Shmurdas and the Tekashis is younger than us.
Yeah, they are.
So nigga, think about the niggas that they not owe money now, huh?
Yeah.
I think everybody probably doing
Bro, next time, bro, I'm really gonna have a jar.
Because I have no idea. That's why I'm trying to catch myself later. Wait.
We gonna have that jar next time, bro. Everybody bring at least 10 ones, bro. We got to, bro.
Hey, this a free one, nigga.
Yeah.
Get it out now.
You know what it is, though? It's making us mindful of it.
Nigga.
Get this nigga out of me right now, nigga. For real.
I done better than y'all. Hey!
Nigga,
No.
That's funny as hell. So, alright.
It's like.
Talk to me. What do you think, man?
Snoop, you feel me? And Tekashi going back at it, back and forth. Is that something we really should like entertain? Cause like, that's one of them things now. It's like, whoa.
No.
Snoop's
like 50 years old. Tekashi's like 23. Like, Tekashi's younger than us. Like you said. He did
that though.
I don't care.
Did Snoop entertain this?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
He was like, today I got time. Before I didn't have time.
Yeah.
It's like Tom and Jerry, the cat and mouse. The cat and mouse catch each other, but you never fuck with the dog or some shit like that. That's what he said. So for me, it's like, Grandpa, if you don't sit your all that, even if he did say it, it's like, what's up? Like,
no, I'm not talking about. I'm talking about the ratting part. Like, we gotta root for somebody. I don't know if I can verbally root for who I would root for. I can't say it.
So we exited out Snoop out of our lives now?
No.
Is that what we're doing?
I mean, it's like this. You know, I'm a Kels fan. I fuck with Kels.
See, I ain't fucking with this nigga, bro.
Let me get that. Right, perfect example. Yeah. Look, I'm a Kels fan. Look, I got all these kids, bro.
That nigga be
Hey, look, I
and
fuck
elected
with
in
Kels.
2 areas.
Look, I fuck with Kels. I don't know who the fuck Robert Kelly is, man. Robert Sylvester Kelly is, I don't know this nigga. I know R. Kelly, nigga. Them is 2 different niggas, right?
You're retarded, bro. He said he know the artist.
I know the artist. Nigga.
I ain't never met him personally.
I know that nigga, right?
That's facts.
I don't know that. Hey, the paper, the black and white, that shit said Calvin Brothers and that's, look. It ain't gonna say R. Kelly, it's gonna say AKA R. Kelly. That shit gonna say Robert Sylvester Kelly. That's the nigga I don't know, bro. That's the nigga. I know the AKA nigga, R. Kelly. That's the nigga that I know.
But when you really think about the R. Kelly nigga, he was telling you in his music, bro.
I mean, they can dissect that and say that. I don't know what that nigga was thinking. Somebody else wrote it with him, is what I'm gonna say. So, there. I'm gonna leave that alone.
The Pied Piper, you know what the Pied Piper is?
Okay, see, I was in the penitentiary when they was doing that shit. So, yeah, I'm gonna slide on that one. Yeah, if I know the little flute motherfucker.
Yeah, but he fucking, the fucking whistle kids off and never return.
Yeah, I know. He said he was R&B, yeah, with the little mask and shit. Yeah, I remember
You see this nigga face?
No, because I didn't know that. No.
Wait, well, you didn't know? Oh.
I didn't really know that.
Alright, so the Pied Piper, the story behind the Pied Piper is like, it's a little kid from a cartoon, and his little thing was he had a little flute, and kids would follow him, but they would never end up coming back, bro. I'm my mama. That's
so
what
he was kidnapping kids. That's what.
But they didn't make it look like he was kidnapping them though. It's like a.
It was like their
fairy tale.
But it was like a weird to like make you think like that's a weirdo.
That's like that smallpox thing or whatever, the ring around the rosy thing.
Nah,
like that.
Kinda where it has like a hidden thing behind it. Yeah.
Like we didn't, and then you don't see it until you're an adult.
Yeah, like the chocolate factory and like you go back with
crazy. I never knew that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, the Pied Piper is a weirdo that would whistle kid with a flute. He would make them follow him, and the kids would never return their parents, so they'd always end up looking for him. And so R. Kelly got supposedly all these girls. Bro, but check this out.
That's crazy.
Check this out. I started listening to this podcast called. Check this out. I started listening to this podcast called Horrible Decisions, right?
Alright.
And it's basically these two beautiful black women, black queens from I think they're from Florida. They're from Orlando, I believe, Orlando, Florida, but they live in New York, and their podcast is based out of New York. And basically, they have people come on and talk about different fetishes and shit like that. I would actually like to have like people in like the sex life to come on and talk about fetish shit. I don't know nothing about that shit. But okay, they have people come on.
He likes to lick toes, by the way.
I mean, if they pretty, I mean, I ain't opposed to it.
I ain't either.
I mean, yeah, like I say something wrong.
I ain't opposed to either.
By the word. So, let's talk about R. Kelly. So, how could you,
I like his music. I don't like his personal life.
It's the same thing with like Michael Jackson. I mean, like,
I like his music.
I like.
I can agree with that. So the podcast, the two girls, they got this podcast based out of New York. They have people come on and they talk about different fetishes and shit. And there's people that come on. They're dubs, the subs, and there's doms, like fucking 50 Shades of Grey type shit. And so basically, there's stories in there where, like, there's a story where they was telling a story about a woman, or somebody was telling a story about a woman that like was so submissive. A dude told her to sit in a chair and stay there and not get up until he got back, and she literally sat in that chair, peed there, slept there, and didn't move until he got back. Like, it's like there's like subs and doms, and there's like sadists and masochists, and like that's a whole like lifestyle. So like but when I heard about R. Kelly, I didn't know about any of this shit until I started listening to the podcast. My wife put me onto that podcast, by the way, so that's kind of throwing her on the bus. It's called Horrible Decisions, WHORE Decisions. It's a dope podcast. They get annoying sometimes, but I fuck with them. They poppin', nigga. They real poppin'. But basically, after hearing the podcast and hearing how women are like into that kind of stuff, and like I was on our episode, we was talking about how like women like to be dominated and whatever. That's a real thing.
That's true.
So when I heard that, and I was like, like when you kind of hear the story with R. Kelly, it's like, I wonder if these women were really with it and then like realized that they could get like potential book deals. Oh man, I sound like a fucked up type of, I sound like a fascist or whatever, don't I? I'm not saying that they wasn't getting kidnapped, but it's like after figuring out, I don't know if I believe the stories the way they were portrayed because of knowing now that there's a whole lifestyle behind that shit. Like he has these sex rooms and sex dungeons and shit. Like that's a real thing. A lot of people got that shit. I didn't know that. I didn't know that was like a real thing. I really didn't. But there's women, bro. I've talked to a woman in my past that told me basically said that I'm too nice. Like she wants to be talked to like aggressively. Like you know what I'm saying? Like that gorilla pimp type shit, and I ain't got it in me. Unless you like rude to me and disrespect
me, I ain't got it in me.
Like unless you like rude and shit, and then like I react up. That's different though. But like, so
he had like a sex room like
he had like
Friday.
Bro, he had like a sex room. Like he had like in his studio, he had like different rooms and shit like that. Like after hearing the podcast Horrible Decisions, bro, like there's definitely a whole lifestyle for it. But I'm not saying he wasn't kidnapping women. There's people that are coming forth that says that like he was doing that. He was manipulating these people. But it's also like people were giving him their kids.
That's what I'm saying. A sex room, a sex room and kids is two different things. You can have a sex room. I ain't playing.
Most of the more recent women that he had been messing with on the documentary, they were all of age. If
they was all of age,
I think.
Or they've been there a long time.
They were younger, but they've been there for a minute though. You know what I'm
They're like
they
18.
Came in when they were like 18, 19.
They came in like 18, 19. They were all legal. So
he did like basically raise them, if you can say that. Yeah.
Did he buy him, or he just got the girls just came and then he made?
Man, I don't know. Some of them. Some people actually parents like left their kids with him, and he paid their parents.
Man, R. Kelly didn't have no damn occult, man. I mean, no.
And that's probably why he feel like that, bro. It's like, what the fuck these niggas talk about, bro? I'm telling you, bro.
He was purpose though.
The high schools and all that, and like
we're not gonna debate the niggas' fetishes and purpose.
Hey, his brother was tripping low key though. Did you hear what his the one that was in jail?
The older one.
The nigga was like, some niggas like older kids. I mean, older women. Some ones like younger ones. My brother like younger girls. So what? And what?
He probably the one that did it too.
Supposedly that was the thing. He said it was his brother. It wasn't him.
Think about it, man. R. Kelly cannot go into the mall. This nigga can walk into our mall and just go anywhere. He's gonna have a crowd, bro. So somebody has to get.
Right.
He cannot just particularly go up to any woman and be like, "Hey, what's happening?" Without, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So these people were picked. You know what I'm saying? And they just thought they see the dollar sign and.
R. Kelly want to talk to you. Come here.
Right.
I think what also kind of makes it.
I mean, he may have picked something too, though.
Also, what makes it weird is he married Aaliyah when she was 15. That's gross. He was like 24, 25.
He was way older.
So that's gross, bro. So
when was this, like
94?
Something like that.
94.
I still don't think that shit was even looked upon until like the 2000s.
I mean, they looked at it back then and shit, but then they let it go.
Time out. There was but there was girls in our high school I know of that always had older niggas come pick them up, bro.
Girls in my high school that
I don't really think that was looked upon until like early 2000s, where it was like
that feminist movement and shit.
Like, are you too young? And this before everybody was just like, it just happened. It just is what it is.
The motherfucking LL Cool J song, what do you say? I'm at the high school, you know what I'm saying? Getting up them young bitches. Never got a big old, but you know what I'm saying? At the high school and shit.
Yeah.
Come on, man. So, Belle Biv DeVoe said, backstage, underage adolescents. You know what I'm saying? Come on, bro. You know what I'm saying?
That was like a thing, bro.
That's a thing, bro. That was a thing.
Elvis Presley, fucking Priscilla was 14.
Yeah, bro.
See, that's what I'm saying. And then you don't even want to go further back than that. You don't even want to go that further back.
Yeah.
But yeah, they had to start at like the 2000s where it started to be like,
started to be like weird and
right, early 2000s.
Yeah, like you can't do that.
But then they let it go with Jay-Z and Beyonce, though, you know. But she was of age, though. She was of age, though.
Yeah.
She was of age.
Hey, did you hear what fucking Nick Cannon and Dame Dash was talking about him and Foxy Brown? I don't know. I don't know, nigga. There you go.
We're trying to get him out.
Low key, I listened to Charlamagne the God Line now, nigga. He said he don't talk about Jay-Z, so I ain't gonna talk about Jay-Z. But all I'm gonna say is go watch Candace Class with Dame Dash and you see what he's saying. Candace Class, Dame Dash, Foxy Brown, Jay-Z. That's all I'm gonna say. Back to Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Lion. Oh, that shit fit. Y'all didn't catch it. Man, y'all ain't catching my jokes, remember, man?
Well, Snoop Lion, that what is...
You get it? Snoop Lion?
You finally got the joke.
Hey, nigga, this nigga bombed the joke hella bad in front of like everybody at work, bro. Our supervisor was like, hey, you should try that on somebody before you do it in front of a group full of people.
That was fucking horrible, bro. That was horrible. That was not cool. That was horrible. I was disappointed on that one. That shit was funny in my head.
Alright, so that's funny. Alright, we go wrap it up, but we gonna do a cap real quick. So give me your last thought on Snoop Dogg, Tekashi. If you were on the outside and you had to pick who was the bigger. Alright, look, let's do a disclaimer. None of us agree with snitching. None of us is like, oh, that's cool, regardless of the circumstance, nigga. You do the crime, nigga. You do the time, like, nigga, or get your ass a really good lawyer. I mean, like, ain't none of us are saying like anything, but just for shits and giggles, if you had to say who the biggest snitch was, who would you say?
Oh, Tekashi.
What?
By far, Tekashi.
Why?
Cause Snoop snitched and did what he was supposed to do.
Shut the fuck up and go sit the fuck down and fucking live a career for like 20.
Become a legend and nobody know nothing.
Until now, and that nigga's a legend. That nigga's his imprint is he got you can't take it back.
98.
98. What is it?
You did your dad a year and a half ago and just got out with
and came out doing some stupid shit.
I actually agree with you, Brody. What about you? Alright. Yeah. Snoop's the biggest? Oh, yeah. Snoop, okay. I don't know, bro.
Tekashi a hold of me, man.
He's a kid,
and
though.
Snoop held his own weight. If that's the case, you know what I mean? If that's the case since 98, Snoop didn't held his weight since then. Yeah, by his own.
He was a kid then, too, nigga. He was like Tekashi's age back then.
I don't know. I'm not condoning it.
Not at all. Not at all.
But he had his own weight, bro. That's all I can really. He made classics after classics. Together football use all type of stuff. You feel me? I don't know, man. Fuck, he got a show with Martha Stewart.
Shout out to Martha Stewart.
That's crazy though, bro. Like I never thought like. I don't. Do I have to pick? Can't y'all just pick? Who was the biggest? I think.
Listen, Snoop put himself in a position where he couldn't be touched, obviously. After that. Tekashi,
look how long it took for this to come out.
This We don't know, bro. Brody might be out of here, bro. No, wishes to bro. Nothing but the best to bro. But bro might be out of here, bro.
Are we talking about who played it right or who's the biggest snitch? Because we not talking about who played it right and who came out of jail and did what they supposed. I'm saying like I said, who is out of the two? Who do you think the biggest snitch was?
Tekashi, because you know Snoop's little. He just said, "Oh, I know Gil Pac, man."
No, he said that he fucking these niggas is trying to kill him and
Death Row. Pac though.
And they just killed Pac. But supposedly they didn't kill Pac.
Alright.
Orlando, whatever, killed Pac.
Alright, they didn't kill Pac then. Alright, both of them niggas is tied.
Niggas said tied for snitching.
I don't
know where for telling it.
Because then we gotta, out of them two, we gotta at least throw up 2 more people.
Alright, can I say this? Out of the 2 of them, if I had to choose, I think I would still kick it with Snoop before I would kick it with Tekashi.
Exactly.
Let me put it in those terms.
That's why I just said it like
okay. But if I would have to say who snitched
you gonna say Snoop?
Low key, bro. Low key, bro. Only because it's like. Only because it's like he offered unnecessary information. They
smacked Pac though.
Supposedly they didn't.
If it was a real setup,
we don't know.
I mean, he could have really said.
Why does it say Suge shot me on the Machiavelli album? It does say that. Like no doubts about it. It says that. So I mean, I don't know, man.
Wait, he said Suge shot me on the Machiavelli?
Machiavelli album, man. You don't know that?
Nah, I don't.
No, I didn't know that. Which Machiavelli album? This is like
Down the Illuminati, the 7 Big Theory. Pull it up. The very first song, you hear it? That shit shot me.
That's crazy. Bro, we figuring some shit out today. At the end of the day, I think my recap would be I'd still kick it with Uncle Snoop before I would kick it with Snitch 9.
Snitch 9.
And I think that's gonna be my little summary. And I appreciate y'all for coming out and kicking it with your boy. Foreign and Breeze, it's always a good time, man. Always a great conversation. Y'all come back and y'all kick it with your boy again.